It finally happened, didn't it?
Need we say more?
It's weird because obviously we decided not to record reactions, but we will be talking about it. So hi guys, welcome Scatlink
And Master Cannon.
and we're here for an update in the realm of gaming. Normally we do it on this Just In on the Nerd Herd every week, and we're actually going to be doing that later on tonight at 8 PM BST. Slight advertisement because we're going to be talking about it tonight, and I'm going to try and get this video up before then.
Shameless promotion.
Yeah, but you know what? Channel link in the card somewhere over here, you know, right above Aaron's noggin, where all the other collectible boxes are, because we have one here.
Just
If it hasn't been completely obvious enough, history has been made, and as I've probably shown before we even started this,
the final fighter has been unlocked.
yeah. And he can lock them back into the vault. Into Sakurai's closet. Which is the best thing. And what world do we live in where we can have, a Sephiroth battle, but it's not in Kingdom Hearts 3?
We live in what they call unreality.
Basically, yeah. It's a world of fiction, and it clearly is. It's also the real world of dreams, because dreams have come true. Obviously, some people would be mad. But Sora is finally in Smash. Let's just drop the name, shall we? I mean, it's funny, because Sakurai actually called out the fact that, he said that, like, the original vote in, like, the results of the ballot poll for Smash 4, Wii U and 3DS, they couldn't reveal the true results. It's not like they lied, but it's like they said that Bayonetta was the highest voted one that they could do. And they specified that because I believe they also specified Goku was obviously the highest, but he's not a game character, so he didn't get in. I never heard Bayonetta being talked about ever, but I always heard Sora, and even I wanted him in there. But I also had other ideas like Crash and Spyro.
I had Klonoa.
Oh, that would have been a good one from Namco.
But we got the best.
I mean, you're going to have to stick to your guns. Do you want to advertise that while you're here?
I promised on Discord that when Sora is announced in one way or another, either as a Mii fighter or an actual character, I would be streaming something Kingdom Hearts 2 related. And since Sora has been confirmed...
It was on the Nerd Herd Discord, if you just want to know.
I have promised to fight the Liquid Will in critical mode, which I'm not even mad about, really.
You're not even mad. The thing is, he's better at most games than I am. He's beaten Yuzura twice, and I haven't. If you don't know who he is, well, I'm not mentioning nothing. It's DLC in this. Find out for yourself.
Yeah. The other two promises were that if he didn't get announced at all, I would have done a Kingdom Hearts 2 randomizer. But if he was a Mii fighter, I would have had to go through the pain of level 1 critical mode. But luckily I won't have to do that.
You were playing with fire, and Kieran, Kazuo Sake, or Kazu as he's now known, partner, he actually screen capped that, and he's like, I have proof. Now you have to stick with it.
And now that Sora has been confirmed, I also plan on doing all of the World of Light with Sora and such. Probably
solely Sora.
Well,
because you start with all the DLC characters on a new file, don't you?
Well, you have to unlock a few more characters first, because you only start with Kirby, then Mario.
You can relive your fanfic dream, where he's like, oh, Sora, who fights for the light with the Keyblade of Light, works along with Kirby to restore the light.
Yeah. Basically an idea that would take place after he vanishes in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah,
but before the fight with Sora.
Sorry, I was gonna drop your Twitch link in the bottom here because he hasn't really streamed much, but he's now got his new PC that he got for Christmas, birthday. My bad.
Yeah.
And because I picked out the one for you actually, Nitro A5 with a I think it was a 1650 Nvidia GTX. I think it's just a little bit underpowered in this one, but you can record and stream. You've been doing a lot of randomizers.
Yep.
And yeah, even though you've been having some stuff come up on your channel ever so often, mostly for Swords, which you've got a video to edit. We've been trying to pick that back up for a while. But yeah, it's like you're actually going to have some more stuff come along on your own Twitch channel as well. And you have a way more free time than me, so
yeah,
more streams on his channel, which will probably be on the screen.
Streaming is better than recording, in my opinion, because I wouldn't have to like fill the void of anything.
No, I mean streaming's perfect for you. to be fair. I mean, recording's all right when you got someone else with you, but it still works as archives, and if you want to chop it down or edit it, you can.
Yeah.
And obviously he's got a lot of fan-made lyric videos already on his channel, so please check that out. That link's probably popped up in the card or will be on the ends card.
Yep.
At the end of the video.
Most of them based on Kingdom Hearts as well.
Yeah, this is basically just a mess. It is an update because we're talking about like content that we're going to be making, and also he has to hold to his bed. but
I will say, if I defeat the Lingering Will quite quickly, I'll do some of the data battles.
Now, here's the thing. Going back to the ballot when Sakurai was mentioning it, it's like, obviously, Goku couldn't be done, and Bayonetta, I never heard anyone mention Bayonetta. If it was in passing, but not, like, full, like, videos, even back in the day on the Wii U and 3DS. But Sora was always mentioned in every reveal that we're hoping, despite the rumours, HMK and Cynical from the Gamers Joint being a few. I myself am guilty. But here's the thing, is... It was Disney, and even Sakurai said that they didn't want to announce the results at that point, and even try to even make that work because they probably wouldn't. And they also said that during the whole development since Ultimate's planning phase, they were already considering DLC for the long term to keep hype going for 3.5 years, and that's basically what they have been doing. Like, we've had an additional 11 fighters, 10 from passes, and 11, which was the bonus Piranha Plant. So. It's funnily enough, everyone thought it would be another Fire Emblem character as well, because that would have gone with the pattern of how both these packs have been going. But I was thinking, it's not Fire Emblem character; it's a sword fighter. Sora is technically a sword fighter,
because he can use the Dream Sword.
Yeah, and then he gets the key blade. It's a blade fighter. Let's say that. So it's to fit the theme technically, and now we have a Disney representative, which is funny because when he showed the spirits, I knew that I had a feeling that Donald and Goofy wouldn't show up, because even though they are Sora's main partners for the whole thing, it's all the rest of the Guardians of Light, which are represented in the final, the Hollow Bastion stage. When someone is about to get knocked out for the first time, it goes to
the heart.
Yeah, it goes to the sanctuary. So it's like it transforms, and you have all the Guardians of Light's hearts flying around while you're battling on the heart of Smash itself. Which
Sanctuary!
God damn it. But yeah, it makes sense that Donald and Goofy would not be there. I mean, they could have used Annoying Dog to... Annoying Dog? Not Turby. Dark Hunt Dog, he is annoying though. And they could have used that for Donald and Goofy, but at the same time, that's a Disney character that's not video game only, or not originated in video games, so technically that would still break Sakurai's rule. And so that was a decent tweak to it, not including them, but also including all the other Guardians of Light, which made sense, including some other ones that replaced, like Shion and Kairi and all that, which I was a little bit annoyed that it's not Kingdom Hearts 3 Kairi and Sora, but Kairi and Riku, but Sora as well, technically, that's a costume. But having it all Kingdom Hearts 1 related, because it's celebrating the series from its starting point, which makes sense, and having it as an alternate costume also makes sense. So, plus, he has voice clips from
Dream Distance.
Yeah, you can hear that. But at the same time, that was Sora in that form anyway, and he does start that game in that costume. So you could make the argument that it takes place during Dream Drop Distance. That's my headcanon.
Yeah, well, I'm going to stick to mine. Yeah, my headcanon is after Sora disappears, Galim's light touches the entire multiverse, and Galim's light gives Sora a temporary form to help Kirby restore the world. And then after he disappears, then the event with Zora happens. Yeah,
like that'll be the end of the whole thing, and then it's just like shut at the end before the secret episode, which we won't get into. We're mentioning a few name drops, but it's there, and it has been talked about, so if you don't know what names we're dropping, because, you know, Kingdom Hearts is also known as the pronoun game. And speaking of games, actually, that's something else I wanted to get into. The whole entirety of the Kingdom Hearts series is coming to Switch, but it's cloud versions. So it's like, you have to have an internet connection.
Also, one locked song in Smash as well.
Yep, you need, which is ironically the only physical game that you can get for Switch that's Kingdom Hearts related, which is also the latest one, and was also before the rest of the series came onto it, which is Melody of Memory, the rhythm game. But then you get basically the Rhythm Games title screen version to appear on the game, so that's like a decent, well, if you get it physically these days, probably £25 to £30 DLC for one song. And I'm not a fan of that, to be fair, because I've already got it on PS4, and I've got the whole series on PS4. It would be nice to have it on the go, but as soon as they said it was cloud, I was like, yeah, oh. And I was just like, Because, I mean, I know that the Kingdom Hearts 3 ain't going to run on it, so having it as a cloud version makes sense. 2.8 also kind of makes sense. It was PS4, not on PS3. What I don't understand is why couldn't they not use, like, the 720p 30 frame versions from the PS3 on the Switch, because it's still the same games, they still run alright. I mean, the loading times on Kingdom Hearts 2 would probably be eliminated, but they're still at the core PS2 games, and you can't get those running on the Switch. You still have to just chuck on the PS4, Xbox One versions or something and run them through a cloud-based system. 1.5 and 2.5 I feel like should have been like able to run on the Switch, even if it has to be 720p, because it kind of actually gives the what everyone was hoping for the Steam Deck, going back to that, because yes, it's Steam, and Kingdom Hearts isn't available on Steam, but you can load in your own OS and have like a proper desktop and something, so you can have the Epic Game Store, so you can access those games, and therefore you can access Kingdom Hearts. They're the native PC versions of 1.5, 2.5, 2.8, free. Well, actually, yeah, free. Yeah, free. My phone again. And Melody and Memory. So, oh, what's that? Where did I put it? Meryl just... Meryl's like, congratulations! He had to get the bloom focus. There we are. That's what the bleep was, and that's what the mad scramble cut was there. But yeah, thank you, Meryl. But yeah, we're going to be talking about that later on. So we're going to be more into the workings of Sora and the costumes and all that, as I said, on this just in later on. But we just wanted to talk about like the announcement of all the games coming to the Switch, the announcement itself, and Aaron's plans that he's been talking about on Discord, which I don't think is actually on the public side of things. It's behind, but
yeah, but
he's announced them.
Yeah, now.
Now. So expect a reboot on his Twitch channel at some point, because we only did a couple on his channel back in the day at Bean Boozled.
Yeah, I think it was only just one stream, and that was back in like 2014 or something.
You've been dabbling with the idea, but you never actually went with it. And since I've now got the Elgato plugged in here, you can have the Roxy or whatever the hell you want with your own PC.
Yeah.
Your laptop even. So, but yeah, so it also gives us more options, because obviously we can do like verses on HD games now. We don't have to like do some weird finagling and shenaniganery. Shenaniganery. That's a word. But yeah, it's a big thing today. It's like, I mean, there was a leak saying it was Sora, but then again, everybody was saying they wanted to be Sora every other time.
Yeah, but they actually got some information from that leak saying that they were trying to get rights to some of the Kingdom Hearts music.
Yeah, we've got 9 tracks out of that, 10 if you can count the bonus one through Melody and Memory. I mean, if we ever do get Melody and Memory, I mean, I would actually play that more on the Switch than I would on the PS3. I have a PS4, excuse me. I haven't even touched it on the PS4. He has, though. But the only story thing's at the very end, and that's bothering me because I'm not a rhythm game person, but I would probably play it more if it was on the Switch, because I could just take it with me to work, do a couple of tracks, and stuff like that. Because when I'm at home, I'm doing everything else. So it's like, I might invest in a cartridge that's 30 quid or something on offer.
And you have played all the other games, including 3 Remind.
Exactly, so I didn't really need to like worry about all those anyway, except for the sequel, Final Boss.
Oh yeah.
It's not ready for that pain just yet, but yeah, it's been a big day for Disney, Kingdom Hearts, Nintendo. Some people were obviously going to be mad. I mean, you can't really win no matter what. You can't satisfy everybody, unfortunately. But that is a massive, massive roster of characters. And, I mean, if you still want Iwata or Sakurai, just download their official Miis and play them as Mii fighters, because that's what they were depicted as. So, because when it went all quiet, like at the start there, when the symbol disappeared, I thought that was like, because it's like it fizzed out when everyone went lifeless, but before that happened and it was like all so quiet and they were all just staring at the logo, I was just thinking, this seems quite somber. My first thought was Iwata, but at the same time they wouldn't do that because that would be a bit odd.
Nah.
But that was my very first thought. I'm like, oh, this seems like an honour of sort of thing, but at the same time, then we were thinking, because they actually already have an amiibo of the Sun Knight from Dark Souls. It could have been Dark Souls because like rekindling the fire. Kieran was suggesting that one.
Dark Souls
like that was
the bonfires.
Yeah, because that was like a small little flame, and then that would ignite to rekindle the age of man or whatever.
Yeah.
But then it obviously makes sense in a way because like there's always a light in the darkness, and that would reignite to bring light to everybody, and that's kind of the idea, the motif that Kingdom Hearts has. But Mario picks up the Keyblade. If you know Kingdom Hearts, you know what that means if it didn't disappear out of his hands.
You should also know about this.
Mushroom Kingdom Hearts was a funny thing.
Yep.
That's now canon. Even though it was just called that, I don't think there was actually any Mario stuff in there. So why do they call it that? It's just weird, but it was that was back in the old days of YouTube poop, so it's like, there we go. Maybe we'll actually start. It was my theory as well. It was like maybe they would actually start moving away from like Disney worlds for Nintendo worlds, but obviously because we know that Disney actually own Kingdom Hearts and Square Enix just make the games and the story and the Final Fantasy and all that, they can't move away from Disney worlds. That's a given. But it would be nice if you could like have like maybe world exclusive worlds. It's just bonus. It's not part of the plot at all. You just go there and have some fun. So for Nintendo it would be a Mario world, or maybe you can have a couple.
They did something similar with Sonic Lost World with Link and Yoshi.
Exactly, and that was like Wii U exclusive. I don't even think that's on the PC version because it's Nintendo. Because I mean, like, they're console specific. Rare is obviously a different case when it comes to like Banjo-Kazooie, both being on Smash as well as the Nintendo Switch Online for Nintendo 64, because Rare is still it's more of a second party at this point. They've been brought by Rare 100%, but at the time when Nintendo had them, they had 49% of the company, and it's kind of like Monolith Soft these days. They've probably done other stuff as well, like Xenogears, because it was on PlayStation, but now they're like solely Nintendo, so it's kind of like acquisition of companies, which makes it exclusive, or it's a deal to make it exclusive. But when it comes to Rare, it's a different case, because a lot of Rare's games, if they're not an original property, like Donkey Kong, any of the Donkey Kong Country games, Donkey Kong Land, as well as Donkey Kong 64, Diddy Kong Racing, please come to the online service, that'd be awesome. They're like obviously Nintendo properties, they were just made by Rare, so that's the thing. But then obviously Donkey Kong 64 took some stuff from Banjo-Kazooie, and Banjo-Kazooie is now in Smash. It seems like, well, it's a perfect gateway for advertisement, have the original games, like the Nintendo versions at least, so it's still technically not breaking any rules, moving it over. Because obviously they remade them for Xbox Live Arcade in 1080p, which they could easily port to the Switch. I don't see why it wouldn't run, but having the Nintendo version specifically on there, which means no need to faff about not worrying with achievements and stuff like that. Or, unfortunately, with Stop and Swap, you'll still have the bought, unworking version because you can't transfer data. Unless they want to somehow patch that in, because it's part of the same service when they move Badger to you as well, maybe. But most of the time it's going to be just like the original base versions, so there's not going to be a lot of a difference there, but I'm going off on one now. Because they didn't mention that, but Sakurai did advertise the original Xbox Live Arcade version of Banjo-Kazooie during that announcement of the character. He's like, we don't have it on Switch, but it is on the services to play the original game, because it was originally on Nintendo 64, so technically we can talk about it without breaking any rules.
Yeah. Most characters have their start on Nintendo. Kingdom Hearts has its history on Nintendo. It's
actually had more games on Nintendo than any other console, to be fair. There were all the spin-offs, mostly.
The original Chain of Memories on Game Boy Advance.
Yep.
Days and Recoded on DS, and then, as they mentioned, Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance on 3DS.
Yes, and obviously they've got it all systems now. Switch has been left out. Steam Deck technically already has it slated up, and it's not even out yet. So it's like, I guess it was just easier to do cloud-based versions, but I don't know. It still bothers me a bit where it's cloud versions. They should have been able to make 1.5 and 2.5 work on the hardware, but yeah, that's basically it. We don't want to be going on too long about this, because obviously we're going to be talking about the moves and the references and stuff like that, the costumes, over on the Nerd Herd. Last time I'm going to announce it because it's going to be later on today. Hopefully I can get this video up today. If not, it will be archived on the Nerd Herd YouTube channel, which will also be either in the end card or on the card above. Link is also in the descriptions for all of our stuff. So So, when do you think you're actually going to start live streaming, boy?
Probably halfway through this month.
Maybe, yeah, I guess. I mean, whenever you want, really. Follow, obviously, follow us on Twitter as well, Discord. Discord's in the link. I've got all part of the Discords in there as well, so you can get to the Nerd of One from there. If you go to any of our channels, you've got all of the social medias from there as well. So just keep an eye on those, and you'll know what's happening. So, see you later on for this just in. We have news. See you guys then.
You better call in Chicken Little, because the sky is falling.